name is Master.
I'm the Megabuck. I really love video games.
My name is Raph, and I also love video games.
And welcome to the Game Treasure Podcast, where we discuss treasure video games of yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
That was a really good impression of the fish from Pee Wee Herman. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Warning, the Game Treasure Podcast is not for children or anyone with a brain, for that matter. I love those fish. This week, we played the shit out of a game that sold over 2 million copies, I want to say, within the first 2 weeks of its existence.
Holy shit.
In pre-release. So chances are that you're probably playing it too. It's Subnautica 2.
Mm-hmm.
A survival game that is the one.
Making
it's
a real
the one. It's a perfect segue, Raph. I don't want to talk about that anymore. No. Before we begin our deep dive into Subnautica 2, Buck, why don't you go ahead and start our episode off correctly, as we always should, by taking us back in time with this week's Retro Zone game, sir.
Let's go back in time, bruh. Retro Zone. Bruh?
It's giving Bill and Ted.
We're going back to the NES in 1988-ish, when skater and surfing culture was all the rage.
Everything was
Wood
extreme.
and water rage? I'm talking about town and country surf designs, wood and water rage. TNC surf
game.
design, as all the cool kids called it back then.
All right, I don't know this one.
I brought this to the Nintendo Carousel.
Hell yes.
Yes, it was in my
okay.
top 5. This is a game that I didn't play as a child, but I played in high school because my friend across the street had it and had his own Nintendo. And I was like, I cannot believe that there is a Nintendo game that I have not played, because my brother, I was convinced, had all the Nintendo games. And B, that this game that kicks so much ass had eluded me for so long.
Yeah. One of our neighbors, I think, had this game. So I played it a lot, but you're right. We did not own it. So TNC Surf Design has, an extreme glaring flaw that's right on the cover, and it's that little rainbow right in the corner there.
Oh, boy.
It's an LJN game.
Yes.
However, it is not a bad LJN game for one very important reason. It was not developed by LJN. It was published by LJN. It was developed by Atlas.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh,
There you
wow.
go.
I did not know that. That's fun.
So that's why it still, it's a very frustrating game, but it's fun as heck. If you've never played TNC Surf Design, it's got a couple of different events. It's got the skateboarding event, which is a left to right skateboarding traversal event where you can play as a couple of the characters. There's also a surfing event where you can play the other two characters.
And the skateboarding one, it's like, isn't there a trick mode and like a racing?
There's a wood and water rage mode where you alternate between the two modes.
The skateboarding mode is mostly consists of like ollieing over potholes and
then bigger potholes.
There's barricades, and he'll jump and the skateboard goes underneath the barricade, and then he keeps going and then lands on the other side of the skateboard. Very fun.
I was very curious about this game because even as a kid growing up in Florida, we had no idea what town and country surf design was here. That was more of a West Coast thing. It originated in Hawaii. And the story of TNT, I was like, I got to know, how the fuck did this game get made? It's based on a surf brand started by a guy in the 70s in freaking Honolulu or somewhere in Hawaii, which became a huge West Coast surf brand, but it didn't, it was here permeated in the bright purple and shorts and whatnot, the people wear to the beach and whatnot. It was a really popular clothing brand, but my brain's going, yeah, but how did that get made? Kind of like, how did Spot get made into a Nintendo game? How the F did TNC Surf Design get made into it? And as near as I can figure, LJN was really just trying to tap into this culture the same way that EA did with Skate or Die, right? Just skater culture and surfing culture is freaking huge, which led me to a really crazy fact about this game. This is one of those illustrious was not released in any other region games. This is an NTSC North America exclusive Nintendo game.
It's an American brand, right? Like,
It is, but
yeah,
it's
okay.
Hawaii, which is lots of
True,
Japanese
right.
influence over there. The guy that founded this company, his last name's Sugihara. He's Japanese.
What a crazy
Of
concept! It's
Japanese
like
descent.
a Ron John surf shop like made a fucking video game or something.
Exactly.
That's wild.
No,
Where you can surf as a monkey, and it's so good, dude. Some of the
No,
best
it would-
surfing in any game I've ever played. to
Raph,
this
it
day.
would be like if Square Enix said we want to make a surfing
Right.
game, so they went
Okay.
and tapped Ron John Surf Shop to make it like that. That's what happened here. That's
What a
just
weird,
so weird.
concept.
But you're right, Mac. It features their lovable characters known as the boys. that's their affectionate name. For some reason, he hired a comic book artist, and TNC Surf has 4 mascots. Like
Cool.
all
Yeah,
4
more
of
the
them
merrier.
are
Fuck it.
all more of them are the coolest one. Obviously, is Thrilla the gorilla, who
Yeah,
got a
surfing.
sequel to this Thrilla Safari TNC Surf Design 2. It was so popular they made a second one.
Buck, that's that Whitewater Rage game for the play date that you joked and said that was the worst game and on the thing, and I was just like, no, dude, because it's fucking it's the
TNC
surfing minigame
half
for
of it.
TNC Surf Design controlled with a crank.
So
And I love that fucking game. It's such a fun, the rhythm of like building energy momentum and then releasing it over and over again. It feels awesome.
I say that's not as good of a game because I played a lot of California games as a kid. And I actually had that on the Atari Lynx, which included the half pipe game, the beanbag game, and the surfing one. And the controls for the surfing game on California games were chef's kiss.
Mint.
Fuck, I have just like the faintest glimmer of a memory of what you're talking about because I feel like I remembered one of
California games.
the beanbags mini game or whatever, playing that a lot. Wow. TNC Surf Design is absolutely a fun sports game, right?
Oh,
I
yes.
mean, or is it? Yeah,
No,
right,
there's-
because it's sports still. I mean, it's
No,
surfing
it's-
and skating.
A lot of the extreme sports will kind of like skirt that. Like snowboarding is neither racing nor sports. It's in that fun sports category. for
Yeah.
instance.
Oh man, if I don't have a Nintendo to collect for, but if I do, this game would absolutely be in my collection. If you haven't played TNC Surf Design, and there's 2 players, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's
There's
a
some modes
romp.
in
It's
there.
fun
Yeah.
time with your friends. One of those games you pop it in, even for 30 minutes a day. Didn't you have fun for that 30 minutes playing with your buddy? Very good. Go now to www.retrogametreasure.com. Let Buck know you have a Nintendo and that you like fun sports games and
Put it on your wish list.
Yeah, put it on. You know what?
Because there's no subcategory for
surfing
mascots
Or,
of surf brands.
Wicked. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to talk about another water-based video game in Subnautica 2. See you on the other side, dear listener. Okay, I've come up for air. And now it is time to crack into the meat of our episode. Today, I am excited and honestly also kind of sad just because, dear listener, you know, we got to play a lot of games in order to make this podcast. And sometimes when we do a game for an episode and it's a game that we also really, really like, we play it so much and then we kind of have to move on sometimes. And I hope this is a game that we can keep playing because I've been having so much fun with it over the
so
span of just
cool,
like
man.
5 days.
So cool.
I should have checked how many hours we've put into that, but it's like at least like 20 or something like this, at least.
Pretty close to it.
So developed and published by Unknown Worlds Entertainment, which is crazy. It's just, this is an indie game, technically, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much money they made off the first one, but
that business side gets a little
Yeah.
weird. with this
sure,
game.
but I can't imagine it's a very big, I don't know, cool team. Released in the early access May 14th, 2026. It's a survival game that takes place exclusively underwater. If you have played the first Subnautica, you know what I'm talking about. But if you have no idea what I'm talking about at all because the game's not on your radar or something, that's the 10,000 foot view. So imagine tree punching, but kelp punching.
Yes. Exactly.
Right, instead
Or
of
fish punching.
yeah, fish punching
Chomping on
and
that
whatnot.
coral.
But I don't know. Impressions off the top. It gives big Stardew Valley vibes somehow. I don't know how to
Interesting.
say it. Just like the systems are laid so well on top of one another. Like, it's the least abrasive survival game I've ever played.
Okay.
That's a good way to put it.
I've given them many shots. Like, I did just uninstall Winrose just a couple days ago. I'm like, because I was like, I'm not gonna play this ever again. But this one, I don't know. There's we'll get right into it here. So I wanted to judge the book by its cover first, gentlemen. The way the game looks. Really good. Buck, Raph, how would you explain?
You hit the nail on the head. Next question.
Yeah,
As someone who like played the first Subnautica, this shit is like a massive upgrade in every way, especially graphically. Like the game looks gorgeous. Like when the first time we went into the deep ocean, I think I said this earlier because we were playing earlier today because it's amazing. But the deep ocean, when I first got there, that left me actually awestruck. It's very impressive.
Just when you start in a shallow area, and then when the shallows end and it gets what Raph says, you are like, oh my, ocean. I wrote in my notes here, the ocean is so big. And they do this day and night cycle, which during the nighttime, different flora and fauna are doing different things. Like,
that was really cool. Yeah.
These plants glow at night, and these ones, like, you can't harvest their thing. And then during the night, these animals come out, versus during the day, you can get these ones. And the game is both beautiful during the day and during the night, but then it also has these amazing moments where it's horrifying.
I was gonna say at night it's slightly
a little
terrifying.
Even during the day, if you get to a particularly deep place, like Rav is playing, where you look up and you look down and you can't even remember which direction is which, and it's just like, holy shit! Like,
it took us until like the 15-hour mark or so before we actually got access to like a clock, so that we could be prepared for the night cycle.
Yeah. There's like these huge mega structures that you come across that are also stunning to look at. Huge animals that are very scary and beautiful to like the squid in the darkness.
Squid.
Absolutely. Just like, oh.
Dude, the first time that I like was swimming into the depths and we were just kind of like down there, and then I saw it kind of poke through the darkness and just the outline of it, I almost shit my pants. I don't want to admit that, but yeah.
The way the game sounds. So Braff explained he found out, I believe Ben Prunty does the soundtrack for this one as well. Yeah. Did he do the first one?
He did. Yeah, he did the first one as well. Yeah.
And he can whittle a real ambient tune. I tell you what.
Yeah.
If anyone were to make a game entirely based around being underwater, good guy to pick. Just the combination of his synthesizer music and then just like the sound design, I guess you would call it, like the sound effects of everything.
Right. So I was gonna
welcome
say
aboard, Captain.
The actual
I literally have "Welcome Aboard, Captain" written on my notes.
The sound design of being underwater, the way that like there are certain sounds that you can and can't hear when you're above the surface or below the surface, and it kind of like it'll scare you sometimes. Like you feel like things are closer than they are because of the way sound travels underwater. It's just chef's kiss.
Lower like bassy sounds have less violent, wavelengths, and so they can travel farther, and so you'll hear like a and you're just like, what the fuck is that? Because it could be from very far away, you know what I mean?
I feel like with certain things like that, it's still in early access, so there's moments where it's like something nearby a teammate or attacking a teammate, and you still hear the sound. You're like, why can't I see it? It's below me, isn't it?
That does happen. That does happen a lot. Buck will be getting attacked by a squid 800 meters away, and my screen will be shaking, and I'm like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Like he's like, "I just got hit." I was like, "Me
shakes
too."
The whole ocean.
Yeah. But and then all the interfaces of all the tools is incredibly Balatro clicky clacky, where like everything's like when you craft shit and when the machines are whirring and like when the bioreactor is on, it makes like this pleasant like whoa 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 whoa. Just everything is very pleasant, much like when we did those Stardew last wrap when we unlocked Fall, and it's just like constantly the most soothing, like every sound
fantasy
effect that you
music,
can make and every sound effect that is happening is not abrasive in any capacity.
It's soft clicky clacky. That's the soft clicky.
That's what got me.
Soft clicky clacky. And then lastly and most deeply, the way that it plays. Let's try to explain. I don't know if Buck, you want to try to take a shot at what makes Subnautica so good and addictive.
Yeah, I feel like I actually have it. I have it broken down into some pieces that I think make that package. So the first one is the most obvious one, the exploration. You know, that you're in the ocean and you're exploring around and finding flora and fauna, and then obviously finding minerals and other things to do the second part, which is building bases, building a home base somewhere to return to with all of those things as you furtherly explore, because the game is, you know, opening up with exposition through the series of prompts coming up through your little NOAA, your little computer that's coming up in there, which leads into the third piece, which is, like any survival game too, then upgrading those things that you've found and done. The tools that you have get better. The glass becomes what enameled glass or whatever it is. The metal turns into ingots, and all of that is just the same progression you find in any other base building survival game. It just that those pieces put together in underwater create a different experience.
Yeah. I was expressing that I thought the ocean is the perfect setting for a game in which you need to explore because of the design choice of not giving you a map.
Mm-hmm.
And so you are at the will of just like, I think I went here. It's so much space because it's all the directions that you can craft things that you can place markers basically. But nevertheless, there's so much uninhibited space. And if I was like, could there be a game that is set in space that you could do this? And I was like,
it would have to be
really,
like under the crust of a planet. It would have to be like zero gravity, but like in caves or something.
Right,
yeah.
because if there's animals in the sky of the planet and you can go in the sky, then the ground's not special, and and the idea of the air, needing air, and basically like they found the perfect compromise where it's like, okay, you can go literally everywhere and anywhere for a certain amount of time. Right. It's just like, aha, okay.
For a predetermined amount of time.
Right, exactly, which you can calculate and get used to and learn how far you can branch for. So it's just like, that solves the issue of just like, well, if I have infinite space, I'm just going to go wherever. And it's just like, no, you cannot, because actually we're going to set like sort of soft gates via almost like Metroidvania style. Like you got to go
unlock certain
you'll get
equipment,
there'll be like quests, like Buck said, you get from this computer, and the quest involves just like going to a place. Guess what? That place has the thing that creates the next version of your stuff. And oh shit, right when you finish that, the computer's got another message for you, and it's to go somewhere else, you know?
I was going to say, this game, the way that the game does questing is interesting. It just has locations that you get you get the black boxes, but they are so chock full of scannable objects in that area, so you can get more blueprints, so you can explore more, so you can find more blueprints, so you can explore more, and then you just so on and so forth, cascades until you're down in the
That part was interesting to me, especially because, like I told these guys before, I actually played this game with 2 different groups this week. I played it with our group, with Mac and with Raph, and I also played it with another friend as well.
Before you get into it, I just wanted to expound, in case someone has not played this game, what Raph just said about like the scanning objects in these like destroyed, disheveled. They look like the bases that you build, but they're all fucked up and underwater. Mm-hmm. Scanning those objects is what unlocks your capacity to build them back at home.
Right.
And so I mentioned that because playing with the 2 different groups, there were, in some cases, completely different items that we had at our disposal. In group A, we found this piece and this section for, a submersible device or for some type of power source almost right away to be able to power this base. And in group B, we didn't find the things for the base, but we found more exploration tools like the elevator, the diving elevator, and things like that we completely missed in the other group. The interesting and cool part is neither side of that like broke the game. It wasn't like, oh no, you didn't have that, you couldn't explore or build a base very well, and oh, you didn't have that, you couldn't do the other. It did neither side, neither group I was playing with, like, we could still do things. You just had a different set of hurdles, a different set of challenges when you were playing.
Right.
Which we didn't really mention this, but if you played the first Subnautica and you haven't played this one's multiplayer. Oh, if you haven't been able to tell by how much we've been saying we've been playing it, we've been playing it together.
That's big.
That's a big deal.
And that is Bro,
Big
this
deal.
is the year of the multiplayer sequel. Fucking this and Slay the Spire, both just being like, you want the best game ever? Play it with your friends. And, you're
it
just like,
was
oh
the
shit, it's
most
better now.
Wanted. It was the most wanted feature from the first Subnautica. Like,
But there's a lot of
it's just-
balancing things and stuff to do when you do multiplayer land.
100%.
But
Right.
to Mac's point, though, it's true. Like I played some Slay the Spire. I played a whole lot more with multiplayer. I would never have played this game by myself. The boy played this one and Below Zero a whole bunch, and I was like, that's fun to watch. I would never sit here and do this job game by myself.
Right.
I will say that I certainly would not like it as much, not
Right.
nearly as much. I have very briefly tried to play Stardew Valley by myself, and it's a little bit more.
Grindy.
No, I was gonna say relieving. It's like it's less grindy, honestly. Stardew Valley, like it just I don't know how to explain it, but
Because of the farming.
yeah, it's like it's gentler. You're not going to just starve to death in Stardew Valley. You know what I mean?
I
in Stardew
equate-
Valley, eating will replenish your energy if you want to do more chores, but the game is just sort of like you're pretty. Whereas in this game, you have to eat food and drink water, else you'll die. If you die, the consequences are you just die wherever you're standing and then respawn back at your bed. Basically, it says it clones you.
Right.
It's like, right at the beginning of the game, it's like you're a clone of a person and you get cloned over and over again.
It's
I
fine.
think
This is
that
fine.
one of the reasons this game also kind of like, I don't know if this is necessarily why it stuck with you guys more so, is a couple of different things that they didn't include in this game that is in a lot of survival games, which is like the repairing like equipment mechanic. You just replace a battery on most things, which is pretty easy. That, and I think personally, having played a lot of survival games, this game is pretty forgiving with food and water.
Really?
Yes. A lot of other like 7 Days to Die, I feel like I'm constantly starving to death. Abiotic factor, I am constantly starving to death. I don't have that problem in this game because you could literally just grab food from like outside
air.
your base.
I think that's
the
just a
air,
nice,
basically, yeah.
that's just a nice quality of life upgrade for
Yeah.
any survival game.
For
But
sure.
I think I equate the difference in single player to multiplayer. In single player survival games like this one kind of particular, it's like owning your own business. Like how do you feel about doing absolutely everything by yourself?
Yeah.
And if you don't do it yourself, it's not getting done.
Right.
And when you play a multiplayer, I'm like, hey, we need one more thing to craft this thing. Okay, I'll go grab that. Okay, while you grab that, I'll fix this thing at the base and get this other building ready and rearrange this thing at the base we've been talking about for the last 20 minutes. And then you get back and we make the thing and then we progress and then we go explore some new areas together. You hardly ever go to the new areas by yourself, right? You almost always do that as a group.
Yeah.
You may go
Right.
back and explore those places by yourself once you've established some minerals you need or some things you want to do there before you move on story-wise. But you do it in a really natural and fun way. You end up doing some things together and some things separate.
And not to be frank, but that's every survival game.
Sure.
Right, yeah.
But
That's
for
the fun,
some
yeah.
reason, this one feels so good, and
it feels like an expedition. It makes you feel like a researcher that's on a unknown world as opposed to like a person who's just like trying to survive.
and
Like,
I don't
you're
know why
learning.
that's more entertaining to me than like the idea of Enshrouded. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, don't you want to be a knight who runs around and has a paraglider and slices guys with swords? And blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I'm actually getting more joy out of just being a scuba diver.
Yeah, it's
like,
true.
I-
Games with combat systems, like you said, like with Enshrouded or any others or any ones that I've played, like let's say like Monster Hunter or ones that are in those kind of worlds, become almost completely focused around the combat system.
developing.
And is it
yourself
good?
into a
Is
better
it
fighter.
fun?
Yeah.
Are the classes good? Are the moves fun? How varied are the enemies? It becomes a whole different set of criteria when there's any combat at all, because you can't help but that be a pretty big focus for the player for a lot of their playtime.
Right. And it seems like instead they've just chosen to just like, let's just put a bunch of effort into the game world
Right.
to make it to where people want to scan it over and over and over again to make sure they didn't miss stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna
I'm
say,
looking some- I'm
once
looking
you
something
get
up
to the
real quick.
point where you can start leaving those markers that I mentioned, like I just have joy bringing the items that I need to make a marker, and then just like going to a place that's like, oh, there's sulfur here, which we need for this thing. So now I'm going to plant a little equivalent of a flag here that I'm going to name it, because you can name every what's a good word for what I'm like, every icon,
the POIs,
every point of interest in the game, including like your ships that you end up building, like submarines. You can name them, which we absolutely did, so that you could figure out which one you need to go to when you need air. Like, is it the red one or the green one? Just like planting a flag and naming it sulfur mine, and then telling your friends, hey, when we do ever need sulfur, there's a bunch here. And I don't know, like I said, Stardew's that same thing. It skirts the combat. I mean, less than Stardew Valley because there is the mines or whatever, but it's like that fucking Stone Top in review that I was talking about the other day, that tabletop RPG where he's like, it's a tabletop RPG about living instead of killing.
Right. There's when I was looking up, I was trying to check the year on it, but so there is a PS1 game called Aquanaut's Holiday. It spawned a couple sequels in Japan. We only got the one on the PS1, but it is literally just a marine exploration game. And made me realize as a child that I had thalassophobia, because the last thing I wanted to do was swim around underwater, as just a diver. But it literally was
really
just an underwater. But see, it's not though at all. It's just scary because that scares some of us. But it was literally just an underwater simulation game.
Wow, this is so incredibly. This is definitely got to be some sort of influence
for sure.
You know what? I'm not completely sure of that, but the studio that made it was it was a Japanese studio that wasn't really big. They made a lot of like train simulator games and stuff, but I tell you what they did make, you guys that are N64 buffs or import especially, not N64, GameCube and N64 buffs especially, these guys made the Doshin the Giant game for the GameCube, follow up to that N64 one that was just a weird, same kind of thing, call them life sim, whatever kind of games.
Oh, I remember this thing. Oh my, what a strange.
Cool. I remember that existing, and this was the first game I thought of when the first Subnautica came out.
Wow.
And the same amount of terrifying hit me. But I tell you what, as we got into it more, and you got access to better diving gear, like more air and whatnot, and the tadpoles, which are the little personal submersible, like little mini submarines you can use to go around, and you keeps your oxygen at full, so you don't worry about running out unless it runs out of power, which is really infrequent. Like a lot of that, like terror went away, and it became more like wonder and appreciating the game for diving and going down and finding things. And I found myself going into deep, dark caverns, and it did not bother me whatsoever.
Really?
Yeah. Which I don't know if it's attributed to that.
We, at this point in the game, we do not go to the surface.
Yeah,
no,
we basically live down at the bottom of the ocean.
We live down in the. It's fucking cool, man. Because at the first it was like we were constantly you have to constantly be coming up for air, but you get it to where you got electricity running frequently enough, and man, it's so.
I appreciate the variety of the way that things happen in the base building as well with the electricity. The fact that like our first main base was in a fairly open area, and so we powered it by putting up little turbines that sit in like natural like streams of water being pushed. So by running that power to our base power, the second one we built is like right next to like an active, looks like underwater volcano thing, because there's a thermal way to power it there. And then our third base is like off the edge of a deep sea cliff.
There's like a thing you can make that's essentially a furnace, and you can burn basically like any organic matter and use that to power your base. And that mini game of do we have enough power to do this right now? Like, can
as long as you're not fabricating anything, whatever.
Right, is also very fun. Oh, the power goes out, and basically the consequences of that are you have no oxygen.
Yeah.
So you need to turn off whatever fucked up the battery, or you need to find some new way to make energy, which is also addictive. Like, I did the thermal vent thing for our last base, like just by myself, while these guys were like eating dinner. They were going to get on first.
You ran it all the way down this cavern.
I'm here. I'm just going to make some. And they came back and was like, "Oh, we got extra power! Yeah, now we can charge our flashlights." Like, yeah, so cool.
The other group that I played with played a very different way. They had one main base, and then they just would constantly ferry back and forth to get supplies. which in the later game, like where we're at now, I could see being not too bad. We have a submersible that has extra storage space so we can load it up with a bunch of minerals and take it back. But in that earlier or that first 10 or 15 hours, man, that was a trudge at some points. They're just constantly swimming out or just going, hey, I found this thing and now I'm going to let myself die. So I basically get reprinted. I get respawned back at the base because I didn't have anything important on me anyway. And you don't drop the tools. You just drop like the minerals and items you find. And so they had like a different kind of manifesto of the way they were going about things. But when they find a new spot and they have to go back to their base for something to like bring items back, they were like, 5-minute, 8-minute treks back to their base.
Damn.
Whereas we built the satellite bases as we explored further out in a direction.
Yeah, I agree with that strategy. I'm telling you, me and Buck would have the best Stardew farm. It would be
I would
amazingly.
It'd
It'd be so efficient. It would be the best.
It's so efficient.
But yeah, man, this game, it's on Game Pass. The preview is, and I don't even know how much on Steam, but they could charge
it's like $30.
Yeah,
$30.
there you go. That's cheap for what the experience is, man. If you have a couple of friends that maybe want to play it with you, this is worth a good what do you say before rap? Get your intoxicant of choice.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then just become Jacques Cousteau with all your friends and just be like, guys, look at this. What is this thing? I don't know. Get out and scan it. Oh, it is this. Let's bring it back to the base and study it and see
I
what
like
we
the
can
base
make.
building part. The base building part is fun.
The base building is so fun.
I would say this. I hope that there's one thing I hope that they fix going into the full access, and that is some type of way to like host a server for the worlds, because as it is right now, one person kind of has to be the boss, like the keeper of the world. And so like in this case, Mac is the keeper, and so if we want to do anything in said world, he has to be on and in the game to do so.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess he could just kind of log in and sit there AFK, but then he'd like die over and over again because he's run out of water and food.
Like that's how I usually play these survival games. One of us will run the lobby, but yeah, I know that some you can get like services where you pay them and they have like a server that will stay up even when if anyone is on, then the time moves, and then when you're off of it, then the time doesn't move. But
yeah, it's just not designed that way yet. So I was hoping maybe that's something that
cool.
they have as an option to be able, so people could pop in and out.
Yeah, jump in anytime.
I mean, what happens if the person that hosted your lobby just isn't playing the game anymore, or has no time to play anymore? Now you have to go restart a new world. Air quotes.
I would like to see this one to the end of its early accessness, I guess, at least. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure how long the first Subnautica was in early access. It'd be a shame if this one was in early access hell, quote unquote, type deal.
Raph, do you know anything about Sub-Zero? Was it just like straight to console? Was it a console exclusive kind of thing?
I never played that one. I know because it's on Steam. I never played it. But yeah, I don't think it did all that well. If I remember right, I don't think it did as well as the first game.
Because its whole shtick was like, a cold planet, like an Antarctic kind of planet with ice on the surface, and the animals were a little more, I don't know, for lack of a better term, penguins and walruses, and stuff like that, right?
Arctic-like.
Right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. It's a new genre. We've just created it. It's called Arctic-like. That rolls right off the tongue.
Raph, as a person, the only person here who played both these, the first one and the second one, any closing words?
Dude, this game's a 10 out of 10, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
I for sure think it's a 10 out of 10. It's sick.
All right. Well, I think that's all we have to say about Subnautica. Go and play it. Go and play it with your friends. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to do our What Else You Got, and then head on out of here. See you on the other side, listener.
You're going to die here, and that's all right. Pick the most interesting thing you can see and explore. Wouldn't that set you free?
All right, we're back, and it is time for our What Else You Got, the segment of our show where we can bring anything to the table, be it video game or otherwise. I'm going to go first because I have several things.
Nice.
My birthday presents from Buck. Finally got them. Time to show them off. Obviously, he helped me score the play date. That was very nice. But also, he got me a copy of Gargoyle's Quest. I've talked about this game. I can't get it to... I've talked about this game a couple times on the podcast. in the same universe as ghouls and ghosts, or goblins and ghouls and ghosts, and super goblin ghost and the Easter Bunny meet Frankenstein. But you play as the bad guy, essentially, the spirit, the demon guy.
Red armor.
Yeah, red armor, or at least one of his people. I haven't gotten to play very much of it except for the first level. It's quite difficult, as to be expected. It is a Capcom platformer from the early 90s or whatever, and so it's going to be like that. But it is very tactilely and good. It's like how when we did the Ninja Gaiden episode, we were like, clinging to the wall feels cool. It's like, it does. Yeah, it does feel good. It's the same in this game. You jump and hover. That feels cool. And then you can jump, hover, cling to a wall, regain your hover, jump, hover again. Mm-hmm. So the traversal is quite fun. You die if you get hit twice, and you got to start the level all over again. And it's just like, whoa, man, that's a tiny buffer,
That sounds like Ghosts and Goblins to me.
Yeah, and so it was just, I played the first level maybe like 5 or 6 times before I was like, I'm going to need more time to dig into this thing. I'm going to put this out before we have to record the episode.
If you guys have ever seen before Demon's Crest, the very pricey Super Nintendo game, that game is like a Game Boy version of that, brought down Does it have a password system or a save
password
system? Okay,
password,
that's good. Yeah, but we have cell phones now. We can take pictures of passwords.
That's true. It's true.
Much
Thank
easier
God.
than it used to be.
Only 40 years after its creation or whatever do we get the ability to actually use it with a cell phone. Right. So that's cool. Buck also got me a Raph. This is cool. I got me a steel cover.
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray DVD copies of Skinamarink, one of my favorite movies of all time. Look at that.
Everybody loves saying that I want to watch this movie. You got to bring it over. We got to watch it.
So funny.
Or at least exist through it.
I unwrapped it at his house, and my mom said, "What is that?" And he said, "Oh, it's terrible," and he loves it. That's pretty accurate. Yeah. It's
a horror movie. I think I watched it and I'm still not sure.
I can't remember if I've talked about this on the pod. I've definitely worn the shirt. I love the shirt that I have.
I think we've talked about Skinamarink.
If you haven't seen Skinamarink, it's a horror movie in which none of the shots are logical. Like it'll be a close up of like Legos on the floor as two people are having a conversation off screen
for 10 minutes.
It's my favorite thing is most movies are filmed competently. and what I mean by that is just like if I were watching two people having a conversation, like I would be on one side of them and then I'd be going and that's why the 180 rule exists, right? Because if you were watching people having conversations, you wouldn't be on two sides, you'd be on one side. This movie utilizes the idea of competency of cinematography against you because the main characters are children who do not know what is going on. And so the movie uses all of the angles that it takes to put you in a position where you're just like, I am not in control and I have no fucking clue what is going to happen.
If that sounded exciting to you, boy, are you going to love
Just wait till this. And then I also listened to a book on Spotify.
Oh, cool.
I listened to How to Hold a Cockroach, a book for those who are free and do not know it by Matthew Maxwell.
Okay.
It is, I want to say, a self-help book, kind of, but it's guised as a children's book. Like you could also describe it as like a children's book for adults.
Okay.
And so it's hard to explain, but just like, I think if I explain the main overarching premise, you'd kind of understand what. So it's like, it starts out with like a narrator being like, there once was a boy who lived by himself. And like one day he was eating dinner, feeling perfectly normal, and a cockroach like comes like crawling into the room, and he looks at it and thinks like, ew, I hate cockroaches. They're so disgusting and they make me feel anxious. Like their presence makes me feel anxious, and I don't like them. And he's pissed off about the cockroach being there. And he explains that he yells at the cockroach, like, go away, cockroach, leave me alone. But the cockroach does not. It just sits there, just doing nothing. And then he explains that he remembers he explains that he couldn't understand how anyone would like cockroaches, and that he heard that there are people on the other side of the world that eat cockroaches and that they like it and that the idea of that disgusts him. And he remembers being a child and having a memory of his mom seeing a cockroach and saying, ew, a cockroach, and screaming. And it made him feel not safe when his mom screamed, ew, a cockroach, and panicked. And so he flashes back to forward and explains that, but then after some time when the cockroach won't go away, he examines it further and is just like, but what do I really know about cockroaches? And he discovers that not very much, frankly. Only what they, not what they actually are, but only what I think about them is about what I know about cockroaches, which is when what I think about them is that they're gross, because that's the way I've ever been instructed. And then the book takes that story and repeats it over and over and over again and replaces the word cockroach with other things.
Oh.
That get progressively more philosophical. So it starts out as cockroach, and then it becomes like the boy and himself. And it's just like one day the boy looked in the mirror and saw a person he did not recognize. He was covered in hair and out of shape and this and that. And it made him feel like this. And he remembered back when this and that, and the person did, and then the boy and love, and the boy and time, the boy and death, the boy and life. And it's very good. It's making me cry just think about it.
Mac, I hate to disappoint you, but I think this is just a different way to write Joe's Apartment, the movie starring Jerry McConnell. With all of the cockroaches.
It is.
What's the name of that book again?
It's called How to Hold a Cockroach, a guide for people who are free and don't know it. If you're a person that struggles with anxiety and depression and stuff like this book was, I was listening to it in the car with Tish, and then I was just like, this is an alone time book. I was just like, I can't.
Right.
I'm going to.
It seems like it would be hard to listen to. Like, what I mean by that is, like, reading it might have been a better medium. I don't know,
man. The guy that narrates it that'll
make a difference.
He's a good old English guy. The boy, and there's sound effects and stuff that they do with it that complement it. And then, like, every time he has the flashback, it like plays this music that sort of like puts you in a reminiscent mood.
There's a word
and
for
so
that. I forget. Where it's like
found
an upgraded book.
a lot of time going, is there a time in my childhood where that maybe, oh yeah, I guess there was. And then, and then now I just kind of, oh, wow, this is really interesting. And
Insightful.
It's free on Spotify. Raph, I think you'd get a lot out of this. It's very emotional. Buck, what else have you got for us
I'm
this
a
week?
dick. I just have the Joe's Apartment theme song stuck in my head. Sorry. Video game vinyl.
Cool.
All right, what is it? What is it this week?
Bury me with my money.
What the Sunset Riders?
Sunset Riders.
Whoa.
With
That's pretty good.
with holes in the jacket. In the
Are they
vinyl
actually holes
jacket.
though?
In the jacket, there's holes.
Okay, but then
there's real
I
holes
see,
in
I
the
see.
jacket. This is actually still
Wow.
sealed. I haven't opened it yet
Cool.
because the record itself looks like the barrel of a revolver. And so it has the chambers in the middle for all the bullets, and the outside is the barrel. It's pretty cool. It's a smaller disc. It's like a 7 or a 10-inch disc because it's Sunset Riders. It doesn't have a very robust soundtrack, but it's
I didn't think so. It
good
does have
stuff,
some fun, cute ass MIDI Western songs.
exactly, yeah. And it's all the part of that one that's that Konami Kureya or whatever you say at club, which is just a fun way to say the Konami like sound team. So the same guys that did like this and then redid the like Symphony of the Night and some of those other soundtracks, which is it's fun to listen to the Ninja Turtles stuff, which I own on vinyl too.
Yeah, doodly-doo.
Yes, that's them. Yep. If it starts with that, that's them. Super Castlevania 4, which they need to do in any soundtrack format. I will buy it.
Yeah, great.
They're all just unofficial ones. And then the second one is I've been playing the new Forza Horizon game. Forza Horizon 6. I don't care for racing games. You guys know that. I brought it up a bunch of times that I don't like country music and I don't like race cars. Okay. Except for Formula 1. But I don't like race car games. And I picked this up because they got me. It takes place in Japan. So I'm like, okay, the hook is there. I got to check it out. At the very least, you get to explore Japan, right? So,
Tokyo.
you know, so the basic premise of it, and some of it, people had played Forza games, I'm sure, before, because I think the last one I probably played was like the first or the second one. You know, we're going to be like, Buck, that feature's always been there. Like, okay, fine, it's always been there. But I can appreciate the things that are there. The auto drive, it's an open world game. So you go from section to section. It's a festival, air quotes, kind of thing. And so it's not just you're at this racetrack, you race over and over again. It's now go over there and do a dirt race. Now go over there and do a high jump. Now go over there and do a speed point. Now go over there and do a drifting challenge. You know, it's spread all around Japan. Cool. And it's Japan. So you go from anywhere from like the Bay of Tokyo to like the foot of Mount Fuji and, you know, Initial D race up in the mountains kind of racing. And they added this weird kind of thing that's kind of neat where you can use the credits that you use to buy cars and stuff to buy akiyas, to buy rundown Japanese houses. And
what?
Yes. And decorate them and change the buildings and put your cars in the garage and shit. And like they turned it into some kind of weird little like.
I might have to play it. Oh, shit.
The first one you get is the girl that lives in Japan. It's her old family house. It was her grandparents' house, and they've died, and it's just left empty. Like, it's kind of a funny, it's a very Japanese thing. Like, well, is it your kind of family house? But yeah, but it's up in the mountains, and no one wants to live there, so it's empty. And so you take it over, and it has this beautiful drive through like the mountains and through parts of the forest to get to it, period. You like don't even want to fast travel just because driving to it is so pretty.
Cool.
And then you can clean it all up. So you can find these all over like the parts of Japan you're in. It's mostly Southeast Japan that you're in this game.
Okay.
Around Tokyo.
Damn, that's a fucking good idea.
I know. And so the different types of cars you get, because it's off-road and you get high-end sports cars and all that kind of crap. But just the fact that it's a little more open world, and or if I want to go do something, but I really don't want to sit there and physically drive the car from one place to the next, you can just say, go there and hit an auto drive button and it'll drive you there. It has fast travel once you've been to a place. But when you're going there for the first time, it does that. And that's good. The radio stations are great because it's in Japan. There is a radio station that is like nothing but Japanese shit. And so there's been some baby metal. I heard that Creepy Nuts song from the newest Don season, the bing bong brum bing bong brum. That was on one of the stations.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like really cool Japanese songs on there. Plus there's some synthwave stuff. There's some midnight songs on there and a lot of good radio stations as well. It's a fun little no stress experience.
Interesting.
Right.
Cool.
I downloaded and I just forgot to jump into it.
It's huge. It's like 150 gigs.
Yeah, it's massive.
Dear God.
Kick ass. Forza 7?
Horizon 6.
Horizon 6.
Sure.
Okay, very fun. Cool, Raph. What else have you got for us this week, sir?
I got a game. This game is called Lunark. Lunark. It's released. It came out March 30th of 2023, and it was developed by Canary Games and a publisher called Way Forward, which you might recognize from Clock Tower Rewind, Contra,
River
Operation
City Girls.
Beluga, River City Girls,
Yep.
and DuckTales Remastered.
Woo.
But the game is a cinematic action platformer. If you ever played, it's an homage to cinematic action platformers of the past, like Prince of Persia or most notably Flashback, because it's basically just a big tribute to the game Flashback. Yeah, it's
definitely
really cool
Prince
looking.
of Persia. I can see that. I'm not familiar
Nice.
with Flashback, but holy shit, Prince of Persia.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Prince of Persia and Flashback
Oh, you're
play
not familiar
very
with Flashback?
similarly.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But yeah, you play as a kid named Leo or a guy named Leo. I can't really quite tell. He's some form of mutant. It's implied in some way or other that he's not necessarily human. And it's not really clear what that entails at the point that I'm at in the story, except for that he seems to age rapidly. And he also, like being a mutant makes one a social pariah. But Leo, being the protege of one of the characters that he goes to go visit, he works at some Lunark corporation. He's given the job to find an ancient artifact. You go, you do it. It's like the first mission. Upon completion of said mission, you're then framed for terrorism and the murder of your mentor. And so what follows is like this very 1980s style dystopian science fiction escape story. You have to like escape the building, with cool, synth music playing in the background and solve puzzles and all this other stuff. it plays like Prince of Persia. It's very slow moving, very deliberate sort of controls. You have to. It takes time to get used to, but it feels pretty good. It's a newer game, so they did a lot of like sort of quality of life improvements on the play style. Like it just feels a lot smoother. It's easier to kind of jump up on things and a little less clunky. Although the clunkiness is kind of part of the genre. My only problem with this game is really kind of like the lack of clarity and the frequency of checkpoints. Like there's not a lot of checkpoints. And if you die, you go back to the last checkpoint, and it sometimes you are pretty far from where you died at. But overall, man, this is a really cool looking little game, and it's kind of like a little tribute to kind of like a bygone sort of genre. You don't see a lot of cinematic action platformers anymore. Just some minor annoyances, honestly.
Not
for
2D ones for sure.
Right, exactly, yeah. As far as like your average gamer, I'd say this is like a 7 out of 10. But if you're a fan of the genre, I'd give it more like an 8 out of 10. Very good game. I liked it.
It looks beautiful. I love the like these cutscenes that are, I guess you'd call them cutscenes, but they're like very polygonal and the camera is swooping and changing perspective.
If you've never played Flashback, it's those are ripped directly from Flashback. Like it's got that rotoscoped animation. It's got these very cinematic cutscenes.
You would recognize that game if he showed it to you now.
Yeah, for sure. I had it on the Switch, and it's also on the Super Nintendo. But yeah, very cool little game. Yeah, that's what I got.
All right, well, that does it, gentlemen. That is the end of our show. We have done another episode. If you have come this far, do us a huge favor, like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Super Interview Brothers on YouTube and Spotify as well. That's Buck and I's side quest where we try to meet people that actually make video games in order to get to know them as people, as gamers, as game makers. Head on over to linktree/GTP. We can find our merch store. Most importantly, our Patreon at patreon.com/DTP. Subscribe for $5 and you'll gain access to our exclusive content and receive an RSS feed that gets you episodes of the Super Interview Brothers 1 week early. We want to thank Crunkwitch for the use of our theme song, Clash of the Droids, and of course, we'd like to thank RetroGameTreasure.com. Owned and operated by the Megabuck himself, Retro Game Treasure is a subscription service that takes the hassle out of collecting retro video games. No more hunting, no more guessing, no more wasted time. Instead, RetroGameTreasure.com subscribers select from a wide range of consoles and game genres to collect from, and then each month, Buck packs up a box of games that he believes that you will like based off of those criteria. You do not pick them, but as you can tell, he knows quite a bit about video games. So if you tell him some genres and some gaming consoles, he's going to create you a bespoke box. Don't you worry your little pretty little head. They even keep track of the games that you have in your collection so you never get a repeat game. So start collecting games the easy way today with RetroGameTreasure.com. Until next week, though, dear listener or viewer, my name is Max Stein, and I love the Game Treasure podcast. It's so bad.
It's so bad.